Hello everyone, welcome to mathematics tutorial. So today we will discuss on how to find for the mean, median, mode, percentile, quartile, decile, mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation of the group data. So this course of 165 students in statistics exam. So ito yung scores nila. Okay, out of 165 students. So we will use or we will find the mean, median, mode, percentile, quartile, decile, mean deviation, variance, and standard deviation. So next, before that, we will complete the frequency distribution table so that we can find the mean, median, mode, and the percentile, decile, and quartile. Okay, so we will find first the value of x or the midpoint of its class. So midpoint, so ito yung value ng midpoint or that is x. So how to find the midpoint or the class mark? So ito 91 to 95, i-add lang natin ito. So 91 plus 95, i-divide natin sa 2, the result is 93. Or tingnan lang natin dito, ano ba yung midpoint 91 to 95? So that is 93. 86 to 90, yung midpoint is 88. Then 81 to 85, yung midpoint is 83. This one, ang midpoint is 78. Then dito is 73, 68, and 63. So ito yung midpoint of its class. That is the value of x. Then we will find the value of f of x. F of x. So meaning you need to multiply the frequency times the midpoint or the value of x. I-multiply natin yan. So 16 times 93. 16 times 93, the result is 1,488. Next, this one, 18 times 88, that is 1,584. Then 25 times 83, that is 2,074, or 75 rather. 75. Then 39 times 78, that is 3,042. And 35 times 73, that is 2,555. And 20 times 68, that is 1,360. And last, 12 times 63 is 756. Then we will find the total sum of f of x. So that is equivalent to 12,860. I-add lang natin ito lahat. I-add lang natin. So that is 12,860. Then letter A, ano yung formula ng mean? So mean, or that is M sub n equals, formula is the summation of f times x over n. Okay, substitute lang natin. So anong result ng total sum of f of x? Ito, total sum, that is 12,860 over n, that is the total frequency, 165. So divide 165. So our mean is 77.5 7.9. So ito na yung value ng mean. Ito. Okay, kuha. Next, we will solve for the median. Median. So ano ba yung formula in solving for the median? But first, we need to find the lower boundary. So ang lower boundary or LB ito. Ito 91, i-subtract lang natin yan sa 0.5, so that is 90.5. Then ito upper limit, ito mga lower limit ito, i-subtract lang natin ito sa 0.5, so 86 minus 0.5, that is 85.5. Then 81 minus 0.5, that is 80.5. 76 minus 0.5, that is 75.5. In this one, magiging 70.5. Next, this one is 65.5. Then this one, 60.5. Next, we will find the less than cumulative frequency. Less than cumulative frequency. So, how to find the cumulative frequency? Tingnan natin kung anong total ng frequency. Ito yung mauna natin. Mauna ito. So, that is 165. Kung ano yung total ng frequency, 165, yan ang ilagay natin dito sa unahan ng cumulative frequency. So, 165 subtract 16, that is 149. Okay, 149 minus 18, that is 131. 131 minus 25, that is 106. Then 106 minus 39, that is 67. Then 67 minus 35, that is 32. Then 32 minus 20, that is 12. Okay, that is cumulative frequency. So, to solve for the median, we will find first the value of n over 2. Okay, so n over 2, capital N ito. Total frequency, that is 165. I-divide natin yan sa 2. So that is equivalent to 82.5. So tandaan, 82.5 yung n over 2. So 82.5, mag-base tayo sa cumulative frequency dito. Cumulative frequency. So ano ba yung, saan ba natin makita yung 82.5? 82.5 dito sa cumulative frequency. So makita natin yan in between 67 to 106. Ito, dito natin yan makita sa in between 67 to 106. So to find the median that is greater than or equal to n over 2 or greater than 82.5. So mas malaki sa 82.5. So saan natin makita yan? It is 106 or 67. So greater than, so yung median class natin is dito natin makita sa 106 na may cumulative frequency na 106 kasi greater than n over 2. Okay, so ito na yung median class natin. Dito na tayo mag-base. Hindi pwede yung 67 kasi less than yan. So mag-base tayo greater than 82.5. Mas mataas sa 82.5 and that is 106. So ito na yung median class natin. So formula in finding the median, that is MD M sub D equals lower boundary of the median class plus n over 2 subtract less than cumulative frequency times I over frequency of the median class. Then substitute natin lower boundary of the median class. So ang lower boundary natin dito is 75.5. 75.5 plus n over 2, that is 165 divide 2, so that is 82.5 less ang baba sa cumulative frequency is 67. So 67 times interval is 5 over frequency of the median class is 39. So 39 then equals 75.5 plus 82.5 minus 67, that is 15.5. Okay, 15.5 over 39 times 5 equals 75.5 plus, multiply natin ito, 15.5 times 5, so that is 77.5 over 39 equals 75.5 plus 77.5 divide 39, that is 1.99. Then i-add natin yan, the result is 74.49. So ito na yung final answer natin for the median. 77 pala. 77.49. So ito yan yung median natin. So ang 77.49, makikita pa rin natin yan sa median class dito in between the class limit 76 to 80. So 77.49. Next, we will find for the mode. So ang mode, formula in finding the mode is, okay, ito. So first, we will define what is modal class. So modal class, it is the class with the highest frequency. Tandaan, modal class, it is the class with the highest frequency. So tingnan natin, ano ba yung highest frequency natin? So that is 39. So automatically, ito yung modal class natin. Modal class. Okay? So formula in finding the modal class, that is M sub O equals lower boundary of the modal class plus df sub 1 over df sub 1 plus df sub 2 times interval. So to find the df sub 1, that is the difference between the frequency of the modal class and the frequency below the modal class. So that is, so ano ba yung lower boundary ng modal class natin? That is 75.5. 75.5 plus ang d sub 1, that is the difference between the frequency of the modal class and below the frequency. So that is equivalent to, so 39 minus 35, that is 4 over 4 plus d f sub 2, that is 39 minus 25. So that is 20 or 14 times 5. Then simplify, 75.5 plus 4 times 5, that's 20 over 618. So 75.5 plus 20 divided 18, that is 1.11. Then add natin, that is equivalent to 76.61. So ito na yung value ng mode. Okay. Next, we will find for the percentile. So formula in finding the percentile is, we have P, ito, P sub K equals the lower boundary of the percentile class plus the quantity of K times N over 100 subtract less than cumulative frequency times I over frequency of the percentile class. So for example, if we have P sub 95, so percentile 95th atong ating hanapin. So we have, so formula, but first we need to find the value of K times N over 100. So ano yung value ng K natin? That is 95. Tandaan, times N, that is 165. That is the total frequency. So 165 over 100. So 95 times 165, that is equivalent to 15,675 divide 100, that is equivalent to 156.75. So dito tayo mag-base 156.75, mag-base tayo sa cumulative frequency. So dito mag-base tayo sa cumulative frequency. So 156.75 lies between, saan natin makita yung 156.75? So that is in between 149 to 165. So greater than 156.75 is 165. So ito na yung percentile class natin. So dito na tayo mag-base lahat. Okay, greater than 156 sa cumulative frequency. So 165.75 lies between 149 to 165. So based on the formula, ito, substitute natin. So ang value ng lower boundary of the percentile class is, lower boundary is 90.5. So 90.5 plus K times N over 100, that is 156.75. So that is 156.75 subtract less than cumulative frequency, yung baba sa 165. The same pa rin ito on how to find the median class. So So the same process lang siyan sila. Nagkaiba lang yung dito, kn over 100. Yung sa median, the total frequency over 2. So dito, k times n over 100. Dito lang tayo nagkaiba. Pero the same process on how to solve for the median, percentile, quartile, and decile. So 156.75 subtract 149 times yung interval natin is 61 to 65, that is 5, over yung frequency natin is 16. Okay, that is 16. Then equals 90.5 plus 156.75 minus 49, that is 7.75 over 16 times the interval, which is 5. Then i-continue natin dito. So 90.5 plus 7.75 times 5, that is equivalent to 38.75 over 16 equals 90.5 plus 38.75, divide mo yan sa 16, that is equivalent to 2.42. Then i-add natin yan sila. The result is 92.92. So ito na yung percentile class or percentile 95th. That is 92.92. Saan natin makita? Sa percentile class in between 91 to 95. So ito na yung value ng percentile 95th. Okay, so 92.92. Okay. Next, we will solve for the quartile. So quartile, the same process, but ang formula quartile is ito. So that is Q sub K equals the lower boundary of the quartile class plus Kn over, from the word itself, quart, so that is over 4, subtract less than cumulative frequency times the interval over frequency of the quartile class. Okay, the same process. First, we need to solve for k times n over 4. So ang value ng k is, so ang given natin is quartile 2. So for example, q sub 2 or quartile sub 2, q sub 2. Ito yung given natin. So i-substitute lang natin dito. Ang value ng k is 2 times 165 over 4. So 2 times 165, that is 330 over 4. So that is equivalent to 82.5. Okay, so that is 82.5. Again, 82.5 lies between 67 to 106. So greater than 82.5 is 106. So ito yung greater than 82.5. So ito na yung quartile class natin. Okay, so formula Substitute natin. So Q sub 2 equals, ang lower boundary natin is 75.5 plus K times N over 4, that is equivalent to 82.5 subtract that is 67 times 5 over yung frequency natin is 39. So 39 equals 75.5 plus, so 82.5 minus 67, that is equivalent to 15.5 over 39 times 5. Then 75.5 plus 15.5 times 5, that is 77.5 over 39. Then 75.5 plus, divide natin ito, so that is 1.99. Then ang result is 77.49. So ito na yung value ng quartile 2 natin, or Q sub 2. Tandaan, yung quartile sub 2 and the value of the median is equal. So tingnan natin yung naunas na video natin about median. The same value, 77.49. Yung median, that is equivalent to quartile 2. Okay, that is 77.49. Okay, next we have for decile. So ang formula in finding decile is, ano yung formula? That is D sub K equals lower boundary of the decile class plus Kn over 10 subtract this done cumulative frequency times I over frequency of the decile class. Again, we will find the value of K times N over 10. So ang given natin is D sub 6. Okay, decile 6. So we have to substitute. So 6 times 165 over 10. So 6 times 165, that is 990 over 10. So that is equivalent to 99. So 99 lies between dito 67 to 106. So ang decile class natin is ito. Decile class is ito. So formula, D sub 6 equals, yung lower boundary natin ng decile class is 75.5 plus 99 subtract, ang baba dito sa 106 is 67. So 67 times 5 over 39 over 39 equals 75.5 plus 99 minus 67, that is 32 over 39 times 5 equals 75.5 plus 32 times 5, that is 160 over 39. 25.5 plus 160, divide natin yan sa 39. So the result is 4.10. Then i-add lang natin 75.5 plus 4.10, that is 79.60. So ito na yung decile 6 natin, or D sub 6, 79.60. Then dito pa rin natin makita yan sa decile class, 79.60. Okay, next we will continue our discussion and we will discuss on how to find for the mean deviation. But before that, in order to find the mean deviation, first we need to find the mean of this group data. So alam naman natin yung formula sa mean. So that is M sub n equals summation of f of x over n. So kanina, yung total score ng f of x is 12,000. Summation of f of x 12,860. Then substitute lang natin dito 12,860 over, ang value ng n is 165. Then equivalent ng mean is 77.9. So this is the value of the mean. Next, formula in finding the mean deviation is MD equals the total sum of frequency times the absolute value of the x sub m, or the midpoint, subtract the value of the mean over n minus 1. I know, n rather, n lang muna ito. N. Erase natin. So that is the formula in finding the mean deviation. Next, we will solve for the mean deviation, but first we need to complete this frequency distribution. So ang hanapin natin is yung absolute value of the x sub m, or the midpoint, subtract the value of the mean. So in order to find for this, you need to subtract the value of x, ito, subtract the value of the mean, ito. So 93 minus 77.9, that is 15.1. Okay, then 88 subtract 77.9, that is 10.1. Then 83, i-subtract natin yan sa 79.9, that is 5.1. Next, 78, subtract natin sa 77.9, that is 0.1. Then 73, subtract 77.9, that is 4.9. Then 68, subtract 77.9, that is 9.9. Automatically positive yung result kasi naka-absolute value ito. Absolute value. 63, subtract sa 77.9, the result is 14.9. Next, tingnan natin yung formula. We have F. So F times the absolute value of x sub m, or the midpoint, subtract the value of the mean. So we need to multiply the frequency, ito, times this one. So we need to multiply ito, frequency times the absolute value of x sub m subtract mean. So i-multiply natin. So 16 times 15.1, that is 241.6. Next, 18 times 10.1, that is 181.8. Next, 25 times 5.1, the result is 127.5. Next, 39 times 0.1, the result is 3.9. Next, 35 times 4.9, the result is 171.5. Next, 20 times 9.9, the result is 198. And 12 times 14.9, the result is 178.8. Then we will find the total sum. Total sum, summation of f times the absolute value of x minus the value of the mean equals, pag i-add natin lahat ito, the result is 1,103.1. So that is the result of the total sum of f times the absolute value of the midpoint subtract the value of the mean. Then we need to distribute that to the given formula, ito, to find the mean deviation. So total sum of this formula is 1,103.1 over the value of n is 165. So i-divide natin yan, ang result is 6.69. So ito na yung value ng mean deviation. Okay, that is the value of the mean deviation. Next, we will find the standard deviation and variance, or variance and standard deviation, the same given of group data. So in order to solve for the standard deviation and variance, first we need to solve for the value of the mean. So that is summation of fx over n. So that is, dito kanina is 12,860. Substitute lang natin yan, 2,000 or 12,860 divide 165. So the value of the mean is 160 or 77.9. Next, alamin muna natin yung formula ng standard deviation or variance. So ang variance is s squared equals summation of f of x, or f times the quantity of x subtract the value of the mean squared over n minus 1. And yung variance or ang standard deviation is s, then that is the square root of the variance. So summation of f times x minus the value of the mean squared over n minus 1. But first, hanapin muna natin yung ito, x minus the value of the mean. So x subtract the value of the mean, that is kanina, that is absolute value natin para automatically. So that is 93 subtract 77.9, that is 15.1. 15.1. Next 10.1. So 88 minus 77, that is 10.1. Next 5.1. Next 0.1. Next 4.9. Next is 9.9 and 14.9. I-subtract lang natin ito sa value of the mean. Ito. So ito na yung result. Next, hanapin natin yung x minus the value of the mean squared. So meaning, you need to multiply the number by itself. So 15.1 times 15.1, the result is 228.01. Then 10.1 times 10.1, that is 102.01. Next, 5.1 times 5.1, that is 26.01. Then 0.1 times 0.1, the result is 0.01. Then 4.9 times 4.9, that is 24.01. Ito, multiply the number by itself so that we can find the value of x minus the value of the mean squared. The 9.9 times 9.9, that is 98.01. And this one, 14.9 times 14.9, that is 222.01. Next, frequency times x minus the value of the mean squared. So you need to multiply this one and the frequency. So 16 times 228.01, the result is 3,648.16. Then 18 times 102.01, the result is 1,836.18. Then 25 times 26.01, the result is 650.25. Then 39 times 0.01, the result is 0.39. Then 35 times 24.01, the result is 840.35. And 20 times 98.01, the result is 1,960.2. And last, 12 times 222.01, that is 2,664.12. Then find the total sum. I-add lang natin lahat ito. So summation of f times x minus the value of the mean squared, that is equivalent to, i-add natin lahat ito. So that is 11,599.65. Then i-substitute lang natin dito. So 11,599.65 over, ang value ng n is total frequency 165 minus 1, so that is 164. Then i-divide natin yan, ang result is 70.73. So ito na yung variance natin. Variance. How about yung standard deviation? So that is equals, ang value nito is 70 square root of 70.73, that is equivalent to 8.41. So ito na yung standard deviation natin. Okay? Ito, square root lang ng variance so that we can find the standard deviation. So that's all for today. And God bless.